Right. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Collector Dino Austria of the Port of Davao. Welcome to another episode of BOC's Live Updates. So this afternoon, we'll begin our update with the number of medical equipments that the BOC has released as of April 26, 2020. In Ninoy Aquino International Airport, uh, a total of 36 PPEs shipments have arrived, and a similar number was released within the same day. This brings the grand total of the PPEs that were processed by the Bureau of Customs to 9,226 as of April 26, 2020. Also, this afternoon, I'd like to share to you a summary of transferred containers as of yesterday, or April 26, 2020. In Pacific Road Link Container Incorporated, 1,173 containers were transferred. Manila North Harbor Port Incorporated, 1,726 containers were transferred. Laguna Gateway Inland Terminal, 124 containers were transferred for a total of 4,023 containers. This has, of course, brought down the yard utilization in our major ports in Metro Manila to very manageable conditions. In POM, it's currently standing at 72% yard utilization and MICP 65.89%. Below the threshold for the existence of port congestion. Also, this afternoon, I'd like to share with you some BOC advisories and reminders for the benefit of all our stakeholders and the general transacting public. The Bureau of Customs elaborates procedures for importing personal protective equipment or PPEs, medical supplies, and health devices that are tax and duty free under the Provisional Goods Declaration System. So the PGDS or the Provisional Goods Declaration, as you know, is an innovation in the Customs Modernization and Tariff Act. It allows one to file a goods declaration that is yet to be completed or is incomplete as of the date of filing. So the PGD, as stated, is an incomplete declaration that allows for the tentative release of shipments conditioned with the submission of pending documents, like tax exemption endorsement, for example, within a reasonable period of time. So we also have to remind you that although you may file a provisional goods declaration, you must complete all of the documents within 45 days from filing. So this is what is provided in the CMTA and what is contemplated in the issuance, that it must be completed within a reasonable period of time. To avail of the tax and duty exemption under the system, I will walk you through the steps. The declarant shall lodge the provisional goods declaration by using the assigned model of declaration for PG4 under Box 1 of the single administrative document. Under Box 37A, the declarant shall likewise encode the procedure code 4404 extended and the 3-digit additional code 038, which previews Section 403 of the CMTA, PGD, duty, VAT, and excise exempt under Box 37B, as may be applicable. So it might sound confusing, but once you're in front of the interface, I'm sure this is something that is very familiar to you. Again, I'd like to stress and remind everyone that the documents must be completed 45 days from the filing of the provisional goods declaration. On another matter of equal importance, the Bureau of Customs wishes to inform its stakeholders that we are extending the accreditation of all of our stakeholders amidst the enhanced community quarantine. As concerns grow regarding stakeholder accreditation, in the middle of the ECQ, the Bureau of Customs issued on March 19 a memorandum extending the accreditation of stakeholders who were unable to process their renewal papers due to the imposed quarantine. Under the memorandum, the extension shall include importers, customs brokers, SGL importers, customs bonded warehouse operators, customs facilities and warehouses, and other third parties transacting and accredited by the Bureau of Customs. The memo further clarifies that stakeholders with expired accreditation during the quarantine period shall be given 1 month from the lifting of the ECQ to submit their application for accreditation renewal. So stated simply, what that means is that if your accreditation is going to expire within the period that the ECQ is in effect, the validity of your accreditation will be extended and you will be required to complete the entire process of renewal 30 days after the lifting of the ECQ. On to another matter, BOC wishes to reiterate, madami na po tayong naging announcements regarding this matter. The BOC online, the warning of the BOC on the online love scam. So, paano ba natin malalaman kung ang pag-ibig ay isang scam lamang? Well, I'd like to read to you, nandito din to sa aming website as well as in the Facebook page of the Bureau of Customs. Some of the red flags for you to look out for or watch out for you to be aware that this may potentially be a scam. So first is if the person uses a suspicious or fake social media account to get your attention. Second would be to show some interest to you, and then this person will subsequently ask for personal information. These are two of the red flags that you should be on the lookout for. Third, after establishing rapport with you, they tend to use, baka mabulaklak na salita para makuha ang iyong loob. So you should be very careful when that happens. And usually, this is what has been reported to us based on the experience of some of our stakeholders. Once a closer relationship has been established, that is when the scammer supposedly sends a package to you, and then another person will get in touch with you and ask for the payment of duties and taxes. Someone pretending to be from the Bureau of Customs. Just a reminder that BOC does not get in touch with its stakeholders for the payment of duties and taxes. Everything is done electronically and online. So all of those things taken together should give you ample warning that this transaction is in fact a scam. So for more questions about how that scam is usually perpetrated, feel free to get in touch with the Bureau of Customs through our social media accounts. You would be surprised how many of the complaints that we receive are actually about scams of similar nature. However, I'd like to warn those that have plans of scamming the transacting public that under the revised penal code, swindling or estafa is a crime against property committed by any means of fraud or deceit. So you can be held liable for this. As provided in Republic Act number 10951, any person who shall defraud another by means of false pretenses or fraudulent acts shall be punished by imprisonment ranging from arresto mayor in its medium and maximum periods, which are 3 to 6 months, to reclusion temporal, 12 years and 1 day, to 20 years, depending on the amount of the fraud involved. So I hope that was helpful to you. In the Port of Davao, there have been a lot of questions regarding the recently issued Customs Memorandum Order 10-2020. And I'd like to take this opportunity to at least clarify certain things, not only for the Port of Davao stakeholders, but BOC stakeholders in general. So when is your cargo or your shipment, your transaction deemed abandoned, pursuant to the provisions of CMO 10-2020? As provided in Section 4.1 of the CMO, there are three grounds. A, failure to lodge or file within 2 days from the date of discharge. B, failure to pay, to make payment within 24 hours from receipt of the final assessment notice. And C, failure to claim. First, if your container is dry, 3 days after payment. Dry, no, the colloquial term, if normal consumption, not perishable na cargos, or otherwise, if it is reefer or refrigerated or chilled or perishable in nature, 24 hours after payment. So you will notice that the periods that are provided in the CMTA for a cargo to be deemed abandoned, impliedly abandoned, have been shortened. So what are then the effects of goods that are deemed abandoned? As provided in Section 5.2 of CMO 10-2020, the goods shall be tagged abandoned in the E2M system. The district collector of the port shall then issue a notice of abandonment. How is this done? As provided in the similar section of CMO 10-2020, if you are an accredited importer, the notice shall be sent to you via email to the registered email address. Otherwise, notice will be sufficient if it is done through publication in the BOC website and posting in a conspicuous place at the district office. Please note that upon transmittal of the email, the same shall be deemed received, even if the registered email of the importer is incorrect or non-existent. Now, what are the remedies available to the importer? First, if the notice of abandonment has been issued by the district collector, but there has been no decree of abandonment yet, the importer may request for the untagging within 24 hours from issuance of notice. And please note that the assumption here is that the notice referred to above has been complied with in order for the 24-hour period to start to run. If no request for untagging is received and approved by the district collector despite due notice, a decree of abandonment shall then be issued by the district collector. Supposing that a decree of abandonment has already been issued by the district collector, the remedy of the importer at that stage would be to appeal within 72 hours or 3 days from the issuance of the decree, or within 10 days from the withdrawal period if it is a reefer container, whichever comes first. Otherwise, the decree shall become final. And as you know, once a decree has become final, the proper mode of disposal for the cargo shall then be followed by the Bureau of Customs. Considering that we are under quarantine due to a national health crisis, the BOC is considering donation of useful commodities. So I hope that that information was helpful and useful. So you may now get in touch with us through our social media accounts that are posted on the left side of your screen, as well as our contact details that are flashing at the bottom of the screen. The Port of Manila assessment contact details are there for operations. They're also being flashed on the screen. I think that's it. If there are questions, I'd be more than happy to answer them. No questions? All right. Thank you for your time, and I hope that you can join us again. The next BOC update will be hosted by a different district collector. I think the next on queue is the district collector of San Fernando La Union, Attorney Maria Rea Gregorio. She's looking forward to answer your questions soon. Thank you. Good afternoon.